Hello, this is Daddy Digi inviting you to the realm of digital horology. Today we will be restoring this Casio I picked up recently. This is a local find. The code is W-95. It's really cool. It's got this little display here. The case seems to be in okay condition. The crystal kind of scratched up. Somebody didn't put the screws back in, but we can fix that. Let's pull off this little guy here. Got our speaker. Looks pretty good. Put that on the side. Spacer of some kind. Let's put a tester battery in. I don't usually use Duracell, but this is just for testing purposes. Got it hooked. See over here, we have our AC, which means connect that to the battery to reset the watch. 3 seconds. And she's running. It's pretty neat seeing these little graphics here. But you can see the screen has some really bad UV damage. Okay, let's pull this guy out. We have a faceplate here. Just gonna pry this like that. Careful with these guys, they scratch really easily. It's a bit of adhesive. Just look at that detail. See this edge over here? Some idiot took the movement out and didn't push the pushers out first. They put it back in. Scratch the edge of the faceplate. Don't be that guy. Put it in a bag. These are notorious for scratching. We have these clips. Slide it underneath. Rotate. Just wiggle it. Easy. Aha! Then we have this little spacer, and if you look over here, we have a little friend, a little spring. Pull this guy off. And then this terminal here connects to the speaker. It's a really nice circuit board. Let's see, we got this little isolator. Just isolates the circuit so nothing short circuits. These are the zebra strips that make the connection to the back of the circuit board. See? And they basically just take the circuit to the front of the watch. So the LCD lights up. Never touch this thing unless you know what you're doing. This basically adjusts your timing, so it advances and slows the timing. And this part we'll be cleaning the components. For this we'll be using isopropyl alcohol, 91% or higher. The higher the better. Anything lower than 91 should not be used on circuit boards because it might cause corrosion. So I've dipped this Q-tip in alcohol. And now I'm just going to wipe all of the parts of the circuit board. And holding the circuit board by its edges. This side was already mostly clean. This is the side that got a little bit of grime on it. When you're doing this, you don't really have to touch the components unless they're malfunctioning. You're just trying to remove all of the dust. Just gonna run this across the zebra strip. Sometimes the acid from the battery kind of dissipates. And that's an interesting color. Kind of reddish. It's probably from whatever that is. Carefully place this guy face down. Let's put this little isolator back on. Make sure you do this the right way or you might bend it. Check. If your screen is malfunctioning, somebody might have put it on wrong and left one of the clips off, or sometimes these clips just break straight off, and that could cause a part of this strip over here to lift, causing a malfunction. Let's place the battery back in. Shouldn't really need an AC reset this time. In the next part, I'm going to remove this layer here and replace it with a new one. As you can see, the black and the blue are on the back side of the crystal. There's actually nothing here, see? So we can easily remove the first layer here. See the edge right there? And peel this back. And what happens is the glue that holds the polarizer onto the glass begins to turn yellow due to UV light exposure. So what we're going to be doing is peeling off the polarizing layer and be replacing it with a new one. We have to do this with the battery in the watch so we can monitor the situation of the screen as we're removing it. You see, this is basically how polarizers work. So we're going to have to remove this adhesive somehow. I'm going to use this somewhat sharp, somewhat blunt blade. You might think that this is damaging the glass, but it isn't, because the screen underneath here is made of actual glass and it's pretty resistant to scratching. And if you look closely, I'm slipping it underneath and I'm pulling out and up. That way we're not sliding it against the glass. Okay, so most of it has been removed, and now we can clean it off with alcohol. Let's do a test here. It looks like we weren't able to fully remove the rainbow effect, but at least the scratch will be removed. So you basically have to pick a piece and find an orientation. So we're going to use the top layer of the old polarizer, and we're going to cut it out. I'm going to use a piece of vinyl. It's basically to remove any dust. You can see the bubbles. I mean, it kind of looks like the rainbow isn't gonna go away. Looks like we did a successful job. The back's gonna need a cleaning again. It's pretty bad, honestly. Rubbing alcohol. Okay, now that the scratch is removed, you can add back the faceplate. Ooh. Put him in a bag for now. So now we're gonna clean up the case and polish the crystal. Some more isopropyl alcohol. This case is in pretty good condition. But you see the crystal, seen better days. So the first thing we're gonna do is sand it. I'm gonna start with this 2000. Clean the crystal up. 2000. Scratch the bejesus out of it. Pay attention to how it's coming along. We want it to be an even coating. We're cutting into the layer where the scratches are. So you can see there are one scratch right over here, one scratch over here, a couple scratches over here. And now we're gonna go down because this 2000 doesn't seem to be rough enough. So we're gonna go straight down to 800. But I'm not going to push down, I'm just going to be scuffing the surface right where these scratches are. You basically have to eat this layer down to the base of the scratch. We have to blend it in as we do it. blend everything together. I always angle it towards the angle of the glass. Don't go like that, because this is a domed crystal. So it looks like the 800 has done its job. Let's clean it up with some water. Now we're going to want to hit it with 2000 for a while, because those 800 grit scratches are pretty deep. And this looks pretty bad right now, but it's all worth it. It's going to look really nice at the end. Put the water on. Nice, even, opaque layer. 2400. 3600 seems okay. You can see the transparency returning. Okay, we're at a really nice spot right here. Poly watch. So we're going to apply the poly watch. And the reason why we did all that sanding is because if you apply the poly watch at the beginning, the deeper scratches will still be there. And you're going to see them because the poly watch is only going to polish the high spots. And all the low spots are going to be there still. And you're going to get like a little valley. So now that we've cleaned up most of the crystal, really lay it in there, especially in the edges. That's what people normally forget. Okay, we're looking pretty good. Now I'm gonna go do another layer of poly watch. Now we're going to place the movement in. Now that it went in, you can see these little clips in here. clean this metal because we've been touching it for a while. And put back on this guy. You can see there's a little space there at the bottom. I'm gonna have to put on a gasket, but I don't actually have a gasket at the moment. We can clean this guy up. Sometimes the grain's a little bit too tough. So there's the top. You can see the crystal's really nice. No more scratch on the screen. Mode. So these are like separate timers. Wow. It's really, really cool. I guess. And then reset? Yeah. I guess this is dual time? I don't know. Oh, it says alarm. 12 o'clock. And the second alarm's at 12 o'clock. Oh, there's the bell. And then I guess you use these to cycle through. I don't really want an alarm. And then there's just our time function, it looks like. Every 5 seconds, we can hold this, and I assume we can set the time. I'll do that later, but you can see certain angles. It's kind of psychedelic. It's Rasta right there. But from what we started with, look, we got a nice screen, got a nice LCD polarizer, got screws, and this case back could use some help, but another day. It's wearable. You see, sometimes you don't really want to go too far. I might come back to this one in the future just to add a gasket to it. Maybe run this across some sandpaper. I need to get a band, and I'll do a what do you call, an update on my Instagram profile, Daddy Digi. Thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe if you like this. So I actually managed to steal the screws from this guy. I just swapped the ones from here into here. This old Timex Iron Man. And the gasket in this one was also good for this watch. So I put the gasket in too. See, she's running fine. Haha.